Hi everyone. Thank you for joining me again here on The Way Shower. My name is Carol. So I'm not really prepared for this video, but I did want to address the virus that's going on and some of the things that are going around on the internet, and in order to help people to understand a little bit more about why we're going through what we're going through right now. I do have a couple of videos out already that address the scenario that we're in right now and why it's happening. And they go back a couple of years. So I will link them to this video so that you can directly access them and see what it is that I'm talking about. So I also want to point out, I haven't watched the entirety of it yet, but Magenta Pixie has a video out that she put out on March 27th. And so far, from what I've heard, it's very similar to the information that I've received. So for those of you who are not familiar with Magenta Pixie, I will put a link to her channel in the description box below. So there's a couple of things. So here's the things that I want to address real quick. The virus, and then there's also the internet stuff that's going on, the wireless. Then I also want to address the varying stories and conspiracy theories, etc., that are floating around the internet, and whether or not I think there's any truth to them. Then what I want to also address is how you can discern for yourself what the truth is and how to follow that. And tell you, in the end, I want to tell you why I think all of this is happening and where it may go to from here. So, anyhow, the virus is here. It was divinely orchestrated. It's in divine order, though it may have been, I'm just going to say may because I'm not putting any positives out there, orchestrated by dark forces, by those who are working on the dark side of things. And I do believe that, but you all have to keep in mind that the truth is out there, but it's for you to decide what the truth is. It's for you to discern what the truth is. Do not take my truth or anybody else's truth. Please do your homework, do your due diligence, and research things, and then see what it feels like inside of you, what your truth is for that. If I'm looking over there, it's because I can see out the door, and my horse is trying to push the fence aside to get some grass. Anyway, so the virus is in divine order. It was not the light side that created the virus. It was the dark side that created the virus. And there are a lot of stories going around on the internet as to who it was that created it and why it was created and what it was supposed to do. Aside from all that, those are all storylines. The real reason, in divine order, that the virus is here is to shake people up. It's to turn everything upside down so that we can see things differently. So it's like a mass awakening, and a lot of people are calling it the Great Awakening. And there's also reference to the storm is here. The storm is coming. The storm is upon us. And I had been getting messages for the last several months that a storm was coming. So then to find out that other people are referencing the storm and the Great Awakening kind of floored me. But I will tell you that most of that, if you hashtag it or put it in quotation marks on the internet and research it, what you will find is that the majority of the people that are using the phrase, the storm is here, or the Great Awakening, those people are viewing it from a very political standpoint. And that's not why it's here. That's not what's happening. It's happening from a very spiritual perspective. And it's not left wing or right wing. And it's not one religion versus another religion. It is all about us finding our own answers inside of us. And that's why this is happening. So, if you will consider that many of you have already begun your awakening process, and the vast majority of all of you viewing this, before you began your awakening process, something happened in your life that was extremely significant, very likely traumatic, and at the very least dramatic. It may have been a death in close to someone close to you, or a near-death experience for yourself. It may have been a relationship disaster. It could have been a myriad of things. But the event that happened in your life shook you to your core so that you had to stop and look at things and try and understand who you are and why you're here and what life is all about. That was your awakening. The awakening is almost always precipitated by something that is traumatic to us. So you experienced your traumatic event, and it shook you to your core. It created upheaval in your life, and it eventually brought you here to my channel and to other channels, spiritual channels. It took you to a place where you started to question reality, and you started to question who you are and why you're here and where you're going. Well, that's what the virus is doing to the mass populace. It is shaking them to their core. It is creating upheaval, societal upheaval, all around the globe. And it is meant to wake people up, because there's no more time. We're in the 12th hour. We need to get our act together. For many of us, we're good. We're golden. It's fine. We're not going to lose ourselves in all of this. And so when the harvest takes place, not a big deal. Whether we decide to stay here or go, or etc. And that's another complete different story. And I have hinted at it in some of my previous videos. I will do a video on that. And what I am discovering is that more and more people are forthcoming with their information about the harvest. And I just recently saw on one of David Wilcock's videos that he mentioned it, and I thought, oh my goodness, somebody else who knows about the harvest. Well, then he says that where he gets this term from is from the law of one. Now, I know of the teachings and the writings of the law of one, but I have never really read it. Little excerpts here and there. So I plan on getting that book, so maybe it can give me a little bit more clarity. But what David Wilcock mentions in his video, and I did make clips of it so I can share it with you in another video. What he mentions from the law of one fits right in with the information that I have been giving about the harvest that is coming. So anyway, nothing to be afraid of, nothing to freak out about. I will help you to understand all that very shortly. So right now what I want to talk about is the virus, and that it's here to help the mass populace wake up. You've already started your awakening process. You're watching this now. You have already started your awakening process. You have already gone through your traumatic event that caused you to question reality and to question yourself and to question what the other side has tried to get you to believe for your entire life. You know that there's more to who you are than meets the eye, and you're trying to understand it all. So kudos to you. You're fine. Just do not buy in to the mass hysteria that is going around. Take the virus seriously. Be socially responsible. and do what feels right for you. So in the quarantine process, it should be giving plenty of people plenty of time to do their meditation and to do their own inner research, as well as research online, etc., to understand what's going on. So be respectful to those people who are in fear. Be respectful to those people who are panicking. Understand that they are now going through their dark night of the soul. Understand that you were there one time. For a different event, different circumstances, but you were them at one time. So allow them to go through their process, but do not buy into their process. Now, for the empaths that are listening to this, that might be difficult for you because you're used to feeling everybody's energy and not even realizing that it's somebody else's energy that you're feeling. So you need to be very discerning. So when you start to feel discombobulated, when you start to feel all foggy, messed up, and maybe hope is failing you, maybe you're questioning your faith, maybe you're questioning the reality of what it is that you chose, and is our world going to fall apart, etc. You need to stop yourself and to realize that it's very, very, very likely that what you are feeling, you are picking up from the masses. Stay inside your homes. And for me personally, when I step outside of my house, that's when I feel it. And it drives me bonkers. Here in Arizona right now, we have the winds coming through. I think they're the Santa Anas, I'm not sure. But they're really strong, and they carry everybody's energy with them. And I cannot go outside, honestly, without some kind of covering over my head. Not for more than 5 minutes or so. It drives me batty. So I look like quite the fool when I wrap a scarf or something around my head to go outside, but I can't handle it. It's just way too much for me. If the wind was not blowing and bringing all that extra energy my way, I might be able to handle it better. So needless to say, my yard work is not getting done. Anyway, it's important that you understand that if you're feeling that depression and if you're feeling that panic and that fear, you are more than likely picking up on the mass populace, their fear, their panic, their worry about what's going to happen to our economy and the rest of the world, and are they going to have their jobs, and are they going to, whatever's going to happen. So let go of that and don't worry about it. I cannot tell you what's going to happen. That all of that stuff is for another video anyhow. I do not like really long videos because I feel like people's attention span only lasts for so long, and then they start to get bored with me. So I think the most important thing is to let you all know that the virus is in divine order, and that it's very important that you do not buy into the panic and hysteria and the fear that is going around right now, because there are millions and millions and millions and billions of people out there who are buying into the panic and the fear and the hysteria. So as an empath, you're going to pick up on it, and you need to realize that that's what's happening, and you need to let it go, and you need to know that this too shall pass, and it's going to be okay. It's going to get better. It's going to be fine. We're going to have more stuff going on, but don't go out there. Don't take chances. It is a virus. There really is a virus going around, okay? And as with any virus, if your immune system is compromised, you're going to suffer more than others whose immune system is not compromised. So take care of yourselves. Take extra vitamin C. Do things that will help to boost your own immune system so that you are not so susceptible to the virus. And then, of course, you don't want to be around family and friends who have compromised immune systems, because you don't want to take the chance of them getting the virus. So I'm not going to go into the other things that I was talking about because the virus took up so much time. I will come back on. I'm going to try and do a live video. I need to try and figure out how to make it work. When you read about those things, keep in mind that divine truth is not about separation. Divine truth is not about fear. Divine truth is not about one person or party being right and the other one being wrong. Divine truth is not about division. It is about connection. It's about our oneness. So when you're listening to everything or watching your YouTube videos, take all the information in that you can, but keep in mind that divine truth is not about division, nor is it about fear. Divine truth is about love and connection. So if you are hearing anything else in any of those other speeches or videos, you know that there is at least a lag in the truth that is trying to come forth, okay? Knowing that all of us who receive messages, receive them through our own perception. And so we deliver our messages through that filter. So some people are going to deliver messages that are in divine truth, but their filter, their perception, creates a lag, like a hiccup in that message. So, as with religion, do not throw the baby out with the bathwater. So when you listen to all that information out there, keep that in mind and take the bits and pieces that feel right, that fit, and let the rest of it go. So if you have any questions on that, please comment and I will answer that. I'm trying to stay on top of things with YouTube, but as I said before, I'm feeling the energies very strongly, not only outside of my home, but through the internet. So all of those who are empaths, keep that in mind for yourself as well, that energy can come through the internet. There is no separation, really, and the internet can bring that energy in towards us too. So you have to be aware of that. Limit your time on the internet if you're starting to feel drained or confused. So please, everybody, remember that the most important thing is not to buy into the panic and fear, the mass hysteria that's out there. And if you're empathic, remember that you're probably picking up on that. Do not own it. Do not make it your own. Recognize it, let it go, and find a way to be in your happy space again. Respect those who are in panic and fear and understand that they're in the dark night of the soul and that pretty soon they're probably going to come to you for guidance because you're already on the path that they're all getting ready to head on to. Well, maybe not all of them, but okay. So anyway, my love and blessings to all of you. I want to say hi to Oz, who is, and friends, who is just a happy source of light. I really appreciate their comments. Keep it up, guys. Thank you. And Suale, you are also definitely a beacon of light. You need to stay focused on your inner happiness, and you have to make that your priority. Okay? My love and blessings to all of you. May you always stay centered in grace.